Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to Sonic the Hedgehog Plus for the Sega Genesis. This is a ROM hack of Sonic 1, released back in, I think it was about 2006. I was a kid then when I had first come across it, so it's been a really long time. But anyways, yeah, so this is a ROM hack that was created by Hivebrain, who I think did just like the general planning of it, and then some bug fixes and other adjustments were contributed by, I think it was DRX and Stealth. So we're gonna see what this has to offer. I know that some changes were introduced, so like now there's like the spin dash, as you can see here on the option screen. You can adjust lives and the difficulty and things before you actually get into the game, and sound test is available from the menu. I also got a new continue thing here, which I'm going ahead and actually go into. Oh, okay, I guess it just starts. It just starts a new file. I guess if you haven't had any previous gameplay save there. Yeah, I mean, so far Green Hill Zone looks relatively pretty much the same. I don't think there's any new level art added to this ROM hack, so I think it's simply just Sonic 1 with a few adjustments. Okay, that was different there. That wrecking ball rolling down the hill. I think that's an object that they had added. I know there's one other Sonic ROM hack that has the wrecking ball present too, and I can't remember which one. I think a couple of Sonic 1 ROM hacks have actually done that, have reintroduced the rolling wrecking ball. And instead of like how it is here, you could like push it down a hill, and I think you could actually destroy enemies with it. It's pretty fun. But anyways, yeah, so another thing about this ROM hack is that it includes a fourth act for two of the zones. So you have Green Hill Zone and Marble Zone that both have new acts. I have heard that Marble Zone's new act is pretty brutal, so I guess we're gonna see how that goes once we get there. I don't think there's any other added levels for any of the other zones. I don't think Starlight or Labyrinth or Spring Yard or Scrap Brain, I don't think they have any added levels. I think it's just only the first two, if I recall correctly. I do also know that they added, you might have seen it, yeah, just there, the Insta Shield. They added that in from Sonic 3, which is pretty nice, because hopefully it'll allow us to take care of some enemies in Sonic 1 that normally I don't think you could in the vanilla version of the game. Could be wrong about that, but we'll see once we get to later zones where they're present. I think it's Starlight and Labyrinth is where some of the indestructible enemies start getting introduced. Spring Yard might also have a few, if I recall correctly, that were. I don't think they're indestructible. I think they're just hard to destroy. I think there might be only one actual indestructible enemy in the entire game, or an enemy that can't be destroyed without taking a hit. And I think that's the green Spike Seer. I can't remember the name of like the actual enemy's name. I'd have to go and like dig through probably some Sonic Wiki for that. But I do remember not being able to figure out how to defeat it as kids. I don't actually know if you can defeat it or not. I never figured out how to do it, over the course of 2 decades, so. But yeah, so here we are on the first special stage, and I just really, I don't know. I'm not really too big a fan of Sonic 1 special stages, but I can't say that I necessarily hate the concept. I think it is kind of fun to roll around in sort of like kind of like a snow globe maze. I think it's just, sometimes the physics can just feel really jank. I mean, like, really bad. And you're just kind of confused as to why sometimes you're falling faster or you're falling slower, and, like, just gravity is just sometimes doesn't really check out well in the special stages. But we got the first Chaos Emerald, so, I'm happy with that. Because these special stages certainly are not the evil thing in the world. I think they're also, I don't think. So I know in the options menu there's adjustments to turn the spin dash on and off. I don't think there's a super peel out in this ROM hack. I know there's some other Sonic ROM hacks that do have it. I think there's actually even a Sonic 1 ROM hack that's specifically made for the super peel out to be added. But I don't think that Sonic Plus has a peel out, but I think it would have been interesting if they had added it. But granted, it might have been a little bit more work, so. Try to grab this life up here. Didn't figure out until I think it was about 5 or 6 years ago that you needed the super speed shoes from the secret bridge area, or the secret area under the bridge, to actually reach that. I think technically if you're clever enough, you can use that little slope that we just passed you can actually gain speed on that, and then go through the loop, go up the other slope, and then go back down through the loop, go up the small little half-pipe curve, and actually come back down, and you should have enough speed to actually jump from the left wall over to the top of the loop, and that's going to be the end of the second act. And now we're going to be going into the special stage 2. But yeah, I'm not sure what bug fixes they've added. Cause I mean, again, I was like 4 when I first came across this. I mean, I was pretty. This was back when I was playing like Sonic Mega Collection and like Sonic Gems Collection. I mean, yeah, this was like, you know, mid 2000s. So, it is pretty. I'll say this is a pretty impressive ROM hack for, I'd say, the mid 2000s. I mean, you got the spin dash in here. You got 2 brand new acts added. They restored some. I guess beta. I can't tell if they're actually beta elements or not. I don't know if the Wrecking Brawl rolling around Green Hill is like a beta element or if that's just kind of like something the community did. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I still gotta say, like, this ROM hack definitely holds up among some others. I know some have aged like absolute milk, but I think this one is, I don't know, you know, it just takes vanilla Sonic 1, makes it a little bit better. I do think the spin dash is a pretty good inclusion in Sonic 1, even though some people have argued, like, you know, Sonic 1 isn't really made for the spin dash, and in a way they're kind of right. It's a very slow game that you're supposed to take at a very slow pace, because there's just a lot of, you know, traps and enemies and, you know, placed in ways that kind of just force you to kind of creep around levels. Kind of actually, it kind of makes Sonic 1 feel like a Mario game in some parts. But I do think the spin dash is kind of just nice to have on hand to get through some areas in like Scrap Brain where you gotta have specific timings and you can just charge up and hold the spin dash and then let yourself rip. Okay, here we go. Cool. Perfect. Okay, that went a lot better than I expected. It took kind of long, but I was just like, you know what? We'll just take it slow and hopefully we'll get it. And we got it. But yeah, so spin dash is a pretty cool inclusion. I think it's honestly, it works for levels like Green Hill Zone and like actually let's try it here really quick. It works well for like Green Hill Zone and Starlight Zone and even parts of Spring Yard. I say parts because Spring Yard has some really, it has like areas in its levels that you think would be really great to just like spin dash down, but like there's weird like obstacles kind of put in the path of where you would be able to build up speed, so it actually makes a level feel like painfully slow in the sense that, like, you know, you could be going faster if like the obstacles were just placed in different areas, but that's just, I don't know. Developers were like, nope, fuck the player, we're just gonna force them to slow down even though we have very nice geography that they could be speeding around on. It's just, yeah, it beats me. But this is in chat. Are the 8-bit versions of this game any good? That's a really good question. I would say yes and no. The Game Gear version is just, it's bad, man. It's not very good. The Sega Master System version, which I think is the original version, is excellent, but the Game Gear version is just like, I don't know how to really describe it. Like, it's just washed out palettes, like the level design's been changed to fit the aspect, like, you know, the screen crunch with the Game Gear, smaller aspect ratio. Some of the bosses have been actually completely altered because of the screen aspect ratio. I think like in the Game Gear version of Sonic 1, you can beat the first boss by like directly jumping into him. Like, I don't even think you have to wait for his phase. You can literally just go and directly attack him just because the, what do you call it? The real estate on the screen's different. So yeah, I mean, like, the Master System version, honestly, I would say is relatively fine. Some of the bosses are a little bit questionable, still even in that version, like the Jungle Zone boss. But I think, like, for the most part, like, if you want to get into playing, like, the 8-bit Sonic games, I would say go with the Master System version whenever you can. I know some of the titles don't have Master System counterparts, like some of the later Sonic Game Gear titles. But if I recall correctly, there have been efforts made to port titles like Sonic Blast and stuff to Master System to make them more bearable. I'm not sure if Triple Trouble has a Master System port, but I do know that Sonic Blast had one going on. Actually, you know what? While hang on a second. Let me just try to focus here. Try to get over this emerald, and then I can look up and see Come on. These special stages are just such a troll factor. Like, every time you think you're so close. No. Oh my, that was close. That was so close. You think you're like so close to finally getting the emerald, and then the stages rotate slightly, and then like you get a weird speed boost in one direction. You're like, what the hell is going on? I still like I think another thing. I think like the gravity combined with like the weird velocity changes make the stage like really strange. Like these special stages are certainly the weirdest of their kind, I'd say, out of the original Sonic trilogy. My favorite for special stages would probably have to be Sonic 3's special stages. I thought they were just straightforward, easy to learn. I didn't think that the difficulty curve was too bad. Sonic 2's, they weren't horrible, but you half the time you couldn't really see what was coming at you around bends. That one kind of, to me, it felt a little bit like it had too much memorization going on. But I thought that Sonic 3 found a good balance, and there we go, finally. I think that Sonic 3 had like a good balance between like memorization, but then also like, you know, on the spot skills. So yeah, that leaves us with 3 Chaos Emeralds. There we go. So let's see here as we go back to Green Hill Act 4. Okay, we'll go here. And oh, but it was update. Yeah, sorry, I got getting distracted, but let's focus on the game. Yeah, there is an SMS port for Sonic Triple Trouble. I've never played it, but I think if you want to play Triple Trouble, that would be the way to go. If you want to play Sonic 2, yeah, don't do the Game Gear version. It messes up some of the bosses. Literally just go Master System. Like every time, just go Master System. So. But yeah, I don't think the 8-bit games are bad. I think they're actually pretty entertaining. Obviously the physics aren't like one-to-one with the Genesis, but I think like at least for the Master System releases, the physics feel pretty good. They're pretty responsive. I would say even for the Game Gear versions, the physics are like responsive. It's just that they're just not as great. I think there's a bit more lag involved. They can feel kind of slippery at times, so like the controls can. So I don't know. And it's just, you know, kind of just depends on what you're looking for out of a Sonic game. But I just noticed that Dr. Eggman's his Eggmobile has an arrow. You know, it has like the construction tape on it. It's like actually an arrow pointing. I didn't actually notice. I don't know if that's something that's unique to this, or also there's a boss hit counter. So that's pretty interesting. Boss X. But there you go. So that's Act 4, which was originally Act 3, but Act 3 got moved to Act 4 because they inserted a new act in between Acts 3 and 4. Or 2, I should say 2 and 4. Or 2 and 3. 2 and 3, and then Act 3 became the new 4. Sorry, yeah, I didn't word that right. But, yeah, so anyways, we're here now, finally, in Marble Zone. Pretty much Green Hill Zone, but Asian. I always wondered if they were like in Sonic CD, because I don't know if some of you know, but Sonic CD kind of was like a parallel, obviously it's a parallel game to Sonic 1, but it definitely took zone inspiration from its levels. And there's one lost level from Sonic CD, it's like called R2, and I wonder if it was supposed to be kind of like a marble zone type stage. But let's see what else do people say. So Onion said, Sonic 2 is better than Sonic 1 in every way. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know if that's really contested. I mean, Sonic 1's pretty rough around the edges, and, you know, I think the sequel did a lot of good to iterate, you know, whatever we had going on, so, yeah. No, Sonic 2 most definitely is better than Sonic 1. It gives you the spin dash, you have, like, twice the number of zones, I think, you have a lot better storytelling. And you have cutscenes in-game. Granted, Sonic 1 has a cutscene technically near the end, or 2, I should say, but... Actually, it would be 3. It would be 3 cutscenes. I just realized that checkpoint there. Because technically you have final zones, or not the final zone. You have Scrap Brain Zone Act 2 that has a cutscene that leads into Act 3. And then you have the final zone that has the ending where you know, where Eggman tries to flee, and then there's obviously the end credits, which I don't know if you really caught that as a cutscene, but I mean, I don't know, an event happens, you know, Sonic releases the Chaos Emeralds, or assuming you got them. If you didn't, well then no. But We're gonna try to get all the Chaos Emeralds actually in this go, so you guys can see that. There's a new, so this is one of the new shields that they added. So I think this is a fire shield. I know that, I think from the changelog, I think they said they also added something called the Magna shield. So this is a fire shield, and then there's a Magna shield, not to be confused with the word magma. So I can only assume that's like the Magna shield is going to be like, I don't know, a magnet or something, like an electrical shield. So I know Sonic 3 had that one electric shield that gave you the spark thing. I don't quite remember if it attracted rings or not, but I think it did, because I know Sonic Advance has like an electric shield, or like a magnet shield, that's like a ring gathering shield. We are kind of screwed, because I really need more rings right now, and like, I don't want to... I know it's going to get harder as the game goes on to get rings, and so right now I'm just trying to find, like, where can I get more rings at, because we took that hit, and that kind of screwed us up. So, I know there's like a secret area somewhere in this level that, it's in like one of the walls, and I don't think it's over, it's not over here. Let me wait for this thing to fall back down, not jump too early. Okay, there we go. I'm trying to think where it could be in the map. So I know it's inside of one of the walls. Is it over here? Oh, it is! Okay, yeah, okay, it's over here. This is where it is. And actually, can you go back the other way? Because I know there's like, I don't know if it crosses, no, okay, it does not connect. Oh yeah, I can't go over there. Yeah, okay, cool. So we have enough rings to get into the next special stage, so that's great. What were we talking about? I forgot what we were saying that. Oh, discussion of the shields, yeah. Yeah, so there's an electrical shield, obviously, for Sonic 3, and then there's, like, the Magnet Shield from Sonic Advance, which can allow you to, like, get rings. I honestly don't know why they didn't just turn the Magnet Shield in Sonic Advance into an electrical shield, because, like, I don't think it's an electrical shield. I think it's just a Magnet Shield. And it'd been really nice to have, like, a double jump out of it. Or maybe, I don't know, give you protection from, like, electrical hazards or something. Granted, I don't think there's any electrical hazards actually in Sonic Advance, so maybe that would have made sense. Because I don't think the 8 Rock Zone or Cosmic Angel have any electrical dangers. Okay, there we go. Finally, next special stage. But yeah. But anyways, Sonic 2 better than Sonic 1? Yeah, I'd say yeah, absolutely. I don't think I've ever met anyone in my life who thought that Sonic 1 is better than Sonic 2. Unless they're just more into like slow-paced platformers. Which, to me would probably symbolize that they might not actually be that much into Sonic. But, at the same time, I don't want to necessarily completely diss on people who like Sonic 1, because, I do think that Sonic 1 did, at some points, have a unique balance between, like, speed and exploring the environment. So, like, you could go fast if you're, like, utilizing the geography that's there, you know, to work with. I do think the lack of spin dash kind of hurt Sonic 1, so I'm glad that these people had added it in, because it just makes, again, some parts of the game a lot more enjoyable. I do think that, like, light level modifications would make Sonic 1 better, because the geography of, like, Marble Zone and Labyrinth Zone is just really blocky. I'm, like, super blocky. Like, okay, oh my god. I thought, like, I was gonna fall in the wrong direction, because there's, like, some of these special stages have it where you literally can just plummet straight down the wrong way, and there's no chance to catch yourself. That's like the worst. So, but anyways, we got four Chaos Emeralds, so I think we're all on our way to having all 6 by the end of the game. But yeah, no, some of the geography in the levels for Sonic 1 was just really, like, just too blocky for its own good. You couldn't really gain any speed, it just was very sluggish, you just wait around on platforms. You know, there's no loop-de-loops to go through, or fields to go up and down. I'm not really sure what happened to level design philosophy, you know, in different parts of the game. Because again, Green Hill Zone has, like, again, pretty solid level design in terms of allowing the player moments to build up speed, to skip sections. Spring Yard could have been that, but something happened where I think a little bit too much of the Marble Zone energy got injected into it. And then there's Starlight, you know, which is typically pretty fun. I do think that some of its obstacles, like the fans and stuff, are a little bit, like, maybe not too conducive to, like, speedy gameplay. I think they should have been changed to work slightly different. I don't think they should have been gotten rid of, because I think they're really cool. But I think they're really cool where, like, if you run into a fan, like, I guess I should just explain it for those who haven't played Sonic 1 before. In Starlight, if you run towards the fan, Sonic will, like, build speed and run staying in a spot. It'd be really cool if you could run towards the fan build up all your speed, and then press the opposite direction to the fan, and just be sent flying, kind of like a spring or like a booster, which Sonic 1 doesn't have any boosters. Sonic 2 does, as dash panels, but Sonic 1 doesn't. I think that the fans can be used in a really cool way to make kind of like these like dash panel type things. I always hate how enemies just drop from the top of the screen and you just can't see them. And it's like no one even uses the lookup feature 90% of the time, so it's like, I don't know. I just feel like this is kind of bad game design. Someone asked, what are your favorite zones in Sonic 1? Favorite zones? It would have to be, I'm gonna say Green Hill and Starlight. I think it's everyone's favorite zones, I don't know. I mean, like, there's not really a whole lot of great zones in Sonic 1. I like the, like, theme of, like, Labyrinth Zone. Like, I really like the idea of, like, underwater passageways that kind of, like, pull you through. Kind of like those, what do you call it? Like, water valves of Hydrocity or Hydrocity Zone. I don't know how people say it. So we've been like, there's been like a debate over the past like couple years, like, is it a Hydrocity or Hydrocity? It's like, pretty sure it's Hydrocity, but I don't know. People keep saying different things. But yeah, but the water valves in Hydrocity that pull you through and like shoot you out. So I thought that was a cool concept in Labyrinth Zone. I like the water slide in Labyrinth Zone. Really, all I want to see more in Labyrinth Zone is just like, give me some loop-to-loops, man. You know what I mean? Give me some loop-to-loops. Give me some fun slopes. Let me roll up and down. You know, give me some like 90-degree curved half pipes. You know, just I think that Labyrinth Zone is missing a lot because it's just too blocky. You know, just like this level right now is very blocky. But could have been better. Could have been way better. And same thing with like Marbles Lane. You know, like there's like a hill right here. You know, if I rolled down that, I probably would end up in lava, chances are. I mean, I don't know. Actually, we'll run over there and see if it leads into a lava pool. Well, okay, no, it doesn't. It just leads into bricks. But half the time, you don't know where it's going to lead. So, I should have gone those other blocks. I kind of want to get, yeah, we'll still late now. Kind of want to get them to increase my score, but I think we'll still be able to probably get up above 100,000 pretty easily anyways. We're pretty close to it as it is. Yeah, favorite zones be Starlight and Green Hill. Everything else is kind of mid. Spring Yard, I would say is kind of close. Maybe it can take the spot with them. I think the bumpers in Spring Yard are pretty fun. It's just the only issue I really have with Spring Yard is that it just has those weird crushing like construction blocks that move up and down that are just really slow and just really slows the level down. I think everything else is relatively fine, except just those construction blocks and then the weird floating spikes. Like, I don't know who thought that would, like, be a good aesthetic choice, but it's just so bizarre and kind of out of place. Like, not even a surrealistic, like, way. It's just, I don't know. They're just there, just hovering in midair. And it's like, it doesn't feel charming at all, and they just feel obnoxious, and it's like, it just ruins the level because they're literally placed on some of the fastest paths. Okay, finally. Got through with 77 rings. I think we'll be looking at Supersonic here soon. I'm just kidding. I don't think we'll be seeing Supersonic. I do know there was another ROM hack that was like, no, I think it was like 2018, that was also called like Sonic Plus, and I think they actually tried to add in Supersonic. Maybe I should have played that version, but because this one's been, I don't know if it's been abandoned necessarily, but I mean the last release was 2006, so clearly these people aren't working on it anymore. But Liminal said, let's see, Sonic CD feels like more of a sequel to Sonic 1 than Sonic 2 is. Sonic CD is more, yeah, that kind of checks out. Yeah, Sonic CD definitely has a lot more in common with Sonic 1 than Sonic 2 does, for sure. Especially level design wise, like Sonic CD's level design takes after, so close, come on, let me get it. Yes, there we go. Yeah, it definitely feels a lot more in line with Sonic 1's. Okay, good. Just one more Chaos Emerald to go, and we are solid. We're doing well so far. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of. I remember there was like a whole thing that came out about how Sonic CD was developed, I think, or it was modeled closely after Sonic 1. So that kind of makes sense actually why it seems like more of a sequel to Sonic 1. Than Sonic 2, and also his spin dash was a lot more slow and like calculated, which kind of felt like, again, like a Sonic 1 type thing, whereas like Sonic 2 spin dash is like it just comes down to how fast you can just press A and let go. So you know, it wait, is that not gonna come up? Okay, I guess I guess the lava flows. The geyser's just not gonna return. Okay, I mean, this is a nice slow ride across the lava lake. This is Sonic 1 in a nutshell. Just a lot of waiting around. Break these blocks. But yeah. So yeah, with Sonic CD, yeah, absolutely. Is there a little thing up here? Yeah. Oh, hey, it's alive. Okay, cool. Oh wait, there's a room up there. Oh, well, you know what? It doesn't matter. We're going down. Kill that bat. But yeah, no, Sonic CD definitely has a lot. Pretty serious. This is why I hate Sonic 1. It's shit like this. Oh my god. I mean, they did say the Act 4 was gonna be brutal, so you know, we'll see if we can keep enough rings till the end to get another special stage. I mean, if not, then well, I guess we'll just Spring Yard to save us, because obviously you can't get a special stage ring on the third act, the true third act of any of these zones. Because technically, this is the added act. This is the true act of true third act of Marble Zone. But yeah, no, with Sonic CD though, yeah, that doesn't really surprise me. Because yeah, again, it was definitely more closely modeled after Sonic 1, and then Sonic 2, just a lot speedier platforming, a lot bigger slopes. I mean, just, you know, think of Chemical Plant versus like Collision Chaos. I mean, it's night and day. But yeah, Sonic CD definitely retained a lot of that slow gameplay, kind of just trying to find your way through winding mazes and stuff, and you know, I don't really, I don't know, I don't want to say it's necessarily bad, because I think I prefer Sonic CD actually to Sonic 1. I know for some people it might be the other way around, but like, I think Sonic CD realized that Sonic 1 was like a little too blocky. Do we stand on this, or, oh, wait, what? How do we get, oh, do we spin dash? Okay, wait, hang on a second. Well, no, the timing though, maybe if I just hold it long enough, it'll just, I don't know. It just disappears the wall, so I don't know how high it's going to, okay, well, we're fine. But yeah, Sonic CD, I think, I don't know, I think it took a few notes from Sonic 1 to realize maybe that Sonic 1 was a little bit too blocky and not, you know, it didn't feel enough like Sonic's World. I think this was Sonic CD nailed, is that it made, like, a landscape that felt like Sonic's World. You know, you have, like, these arching cliffs, and, you have, you know, more, like, kind of naturalistic, like, landforms, some more. This is honestly kind of a difficult level, actually. Yeah, I know people, because I had read some forum posts about this before downloading. I'm just like, wait, how hard actually is this? And this is, yeah, it's pretty difficult. But yeah, no, Sonic CD definitely, I would say, built upon Sonic 1 in a pretty good way. Not as good as Sonic 2. I think I would have preferred Sonic CD a little bit more, maybe that I had taken more notes from Sonic 2's level design. But obviously, you know, it came out, or it was in development at the same time Sonic 2 was off, so that would have been impossible. Unless, you know, the teams had communicated directly with each other. But to my knowledge, I don't think there was consistent development communication between, like, Sega of Japan and Sega of America, because technically both games were developed by separate teams, even though come on! Come on! Oh my god, it's just, I hate spikes and Sonic so much. Also, like, what was it supposed to be on the other side? Was it just supposed to be kind of like a haha gotcha moment? Oh, what the hell? This just dropped down, I couldn't even see it. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I think if they had, like, they should have just maybe just called Sonic CD Sonic 2 and called Sonic 2 Sonic 3 or something. Because I feel like Sonic 2 is pretty disconnected from Sonic 1, like gameplay wise, and I think even in some ways by theme. Like, sure, you have Emerald Hill Zone, which is basically Green Hill Zone. I mean, actually, I think in one of the prototypes it was literally called like Neo Green Hill or something. And then for some reason, like, the name got switched to like that one Asian Ruins level. Can't remember the name off the top of my head. Aquatic Ruin. But yeah, no, it was pretty obvious that Sonic 2 and Sonic CD were definitely pulling from the same, you know, inspirations and sources. I think there was even some development sketches that had shown like that they were like supposed to be based on like the same elements, because it was supposed to be like time travel in Sonic 2, which I think then just got split into being given to Sonic CD. But there's like levels that were in the design drafts that appear either in Sonic 2 or Sonic CD. So I'm pretty sure it used to be the same game at one point. And if not, then they definitely were. What is going on? Chad, do you see that? Just like, okay, apparently we're jumping inside of walls now, and we're also getting crushed inside of those same walls. That's okay. I thought it was like a secret room up there or something, but like, no. Okay, I guess not. Well, that's entertaining. Nice job. Like, what even just happened? Man, I actually really do wish that the development for Sonic CD and Sonic 2 actually hadn't been split. So we could have actually kind of seen, like, you know, a scenario where, like, Eggman has taken control of, like, Little Planet, in the meanwhile until he can, like, complete his Death Egg or something. And then by, like, the end of the game, you know, you travel through time and stuff, and then you get to the future where instead of having Little Planet, he successfully actually built his own, you know, Death Laser Planet, you know, the Death Egg. So I don't know. I think there was like a lot of potential there to actually have a much better game. Probably could have been the size of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Granted, I don't know how that would have worked, you know, with storage and all, but I mean, they had the SEGA CD on hand, so I don't know if maybe they could have made more room to store, you know, the extra zones and stuff to get that like, I don't know, 14 zone goodness. I don't know how many zones Sonic 2 has. I know that Sonic CD has like 6. I'm trying to think in my head of how many Sonic 2 has, because there's, okay, wait, hang on a second. Let me drop down here, not get crushed. Oh my god, okay, here we go. These fire events, you never know what's gonna fire, because it's left, okay, there you go, now it fired, now we can go down. Of course, and, oh my, Caterkillers, oh my god, okay, enemy, like, Sonic 1 is just such a troll game, it really is just such a troll game. There's, what, Emerald Hill, then there's, like, Chemical Plant, and then you go to Aquatic Ruin, and then you have Casino Night Zones, that's 4. And then after that, I kind of forget, it's like, what, it's like Mystic Cave Zone, and then there's, like, Oil Ocean, and then Sky Chase, oh, Hilltop, and Sky Chase. I feel like I'm forgetting zones right now. If anyone in the chat, yeah, if anyone in the chat can help. Because I think I'm actually starting to forget some of the zones. There's obviously the Death Egg Zone, which is like uncompleted. It's just 1 act, even though I think it was supposed to be more acts. Actually, well, it was, because Chemical Plant Zone is Death Egg Zone. It just got like retextured to be the second zone instead, which is why there's such a weird difficulty curve. How am I supposed to make that? Maybe I'm supposed to go back to maybe the left side, like the furthest left side of the block or something. Just gonna wait for this. All of these bats, man. So many of these bats. Oh my god, that was close. That was super close. I think off the top of my head, like, Sonic 2, I think has, like, it's like, isn't it like 10 zones? Oh, no, it's 11. Okay, it's 11 zones. Yeah, no, so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like, what, Sonic 3 and Knuckles had total 14, I think? Or 13, or I think it was 14, because you have like Angel Island, then Hydra City. Excuse me. Sorry for the background noise. There's like stuff going on outside. Yeah, there's like Angel Island, then there's Hydra City, then there's Marble Garden, then there's Carnival Night, Ice Cap, and Launch Base. So that's what, 6? And then the other game had, I don't know, 8, I guess, in order to get 14. I'm pretty sure it's 14 zones. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 14 zones. Because I know that Sonic 3 was like slightly on the shorter side of things. This game is killing me, man. It is killing me. Alright, well, you know, we got over the spikes, so that's what matters. Alright, boss time, baby. Let's go. This is honestly probably one of the easier bosses to deal with, because all you need to really do is just stall Eggman with the lava pit, and you're pretty much golden. Plus it gives you extra hits, so it's, you know, best way to do it. But I think, I don't know, I'm trying to kind of actually recall though, I don't think that Sonic and Knuckles has 8 zones. Because you have like Mushroom Hill, Flying Battery, Sinopolis, you know, Lava Reef, Hidden Palace, that's like 5. And it's a Sky Sanctuary and the Death Eggs. That'd only be like, what, 6 or 7 zones, I think. Finally in the city. Living in the city. Springard City. I also wonder if, like, you know, the city in the background, this is actually supposed to be the city track, Radical City from Sonic R. Because it has mountains in the background, and, like, I know it's the first metropolitan area you see in all of Sonic. And also the sky just reminds me a bit of Radical City. Oh, okay, that's right. There's Doomsday Zone. I forgot about that. Yeah, there's Doomsday Zone in Sonic and Knuckles. So technically that's 8 zones. Hey, yo, they added like new beta enemies or whatever? Like, whoa! There goes my shield. That's great. That is absolutely terrific. So to make it even harder to get rings around. So this is where, okay, no, this one doesn't have, oh, I forgot about those. I forgot about those weird, like, fake Sonic things. It's like Metal Sonic before Metal Sonic existed. What are these rabbit things? Like, I know that they're beta enemies, but they're just shooting, like, random projectiles. Like, don't they, like, spit out ink or something like Sonic Mania? Okay, this is kind of what I'm talking about with Springard as being, like, kind of this botched. I don't understand, like, why are there spike balls there, and then why is there, like, a light here? Like, why can't you just roll straight through all this? It would be great. I mean, obviously, you know, they probably wouldn't want to stop you for that, but, like, I don't know. This, like, everything just right here just feels so insanely claustrophobic and slow. Like, this just feels like a janky Mario level. Like, even, I don't know, even Mario levels had more excitement than this, which is why I say this a janky Mario level, because, like, I don't know, this just feels kind of not, this doesn't feel great to play. I mean, on the uphill out of there, obviously, there's no spike things. Like, oh yeah, oh, secret area, you can come out of here in front of, like, all the 3D stuff. It's kind of cool. I'm gonna go back, get back out to the main route. Yeah, Sonic 2 and Sonic CD, I really wish you could have seen the games together. So what else is going on in the chat? Cups asks, how was Sonic Forces your opinion? Oh my god, I don't know, where do we start with this? So to clarify, I never actually ended up buying Forces. I played the demo when it came out, and like, it just sucked, man. Like, I played the demo on Switch, it's just, I don't know what happened. Like, it feels like a watered down version of Sonic Colors. And like, Sonic Colors is probably one of my favorite, like, modern, like, Sonic games, you know, but like, and I can admit that, yeah, it can be kind of bland in areas, but like, Sonic Forces, man, it just feels so, of course. I should not let go of the spin dash at that moment. I screwed everything up. Great. Now I'm gonna have to go ring hunting. Yeah, no, I think, like, it felt lifeless when I played it, and, like, because me and a friend had taken a look at it, and, like, Sonic just looks dead inside. Like, his model is not animated whatsoever. The level layout is just extremely straightforward. Like, you literally can just hold, like, the fucking boost button and beat the entire level. Like, I'm not even kidding. You maybe have to jump, like, once or twice. And it's like, the first level's over in, like, 30 seconds. Like, I don't know. I mean, like, I understand that, like, Sonic 1's first stage can be beat in 30 seconds, but that's not until you've, like, learned the level quite a bit, and, like, you know how to dodge the obstacles. I mean, like, Sonic 1 is, like, what, like, 30 years old, or, like, I don't know, it's a really old game. It came out in 1991, so, like, you know, well, yeah, it's 30 years old. Yeah, it's literally 30 years old. And, I don't know, it's just, I just don't understand how, like, a company like SEGA with so much money on their hands, like, I just don't get it, man, how they're still making stuff like Sonic Forces. I really don't get, especially after things like Sonic Boom and, you know, what do you call it, Sonic Lost World. Like, people have been literally begging SEGA to get back on track, because, you know, Generations was pretty good, and, Unleashed is, you know, I mean, I don't know, some people have mixed feelings about it, but I think the day stages were pretty good, you know, I think that set a good template for what, like, boost gameplay could be. But, like, I don't know, like, Forces just feels just so stiff. Like, the gameplay controls, they just feel stiff, man. They just feel stiff as hell. And, I really don't get it. We have enough rings now, so you know what, I'm actually gonna just take the safe way out of here. I'm not gonna go up there and deal with that shit and lose my rings. Like, just not time. But anyways, here we go. Finally, last Chaos Emerald, let's go. But yeah, no, Sonic Forces is just, it was just not it, man. It just wasn't it. And after playing that demo, I was just like, no in hell I'm gonna put out, you know, like $60 for this. Like, this game sucks. Oh my goodness. And then, like, obviously, then there were, like, the other stages in the game that people showed off, you know, sometime after it came out, where, like, you literally could just hold one button and beat the entire level. I think it was, like, one of the jungle levels. And I'm just like, dude, this is just sad. Like, this is fucking sad. Can't really say the soundtrack's much better either. I think there's, like, one track from the entire game that I thought was good, or, like, maybe two. I think it's, like, I'm trying to think, what is it? It's actually, I think it is a song that goes to the jungle level. It's called, like, Aquatic Road or Aqua Road or something. And then the other one that I think it has potential. I think that the Imperial Tower music or whatever it's called, I think, you know, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it because I'm not too much of a fan of, like, mid-2010s dubstep. But, like, you know, I think it could sound really cool if there's a few tweaks to it. I think that fist bump is, I don't know. I can't really say it's too offensive to the ears. I don't really think it's doing anything super creative, though. So I can't really say that fist bump's, like, that great. Granted, it did get used in Sonic Mania's A Reverie. So, you know, I mean, I guess in part you probably would have to thank T-Lope for giving them something good to start with. I don't think the lyrics are bad either. I just think that fist bump could probably be better. I don't, like, in my opinion, I don't think it's as good as Live or Learn or His World or, like, you know, Open Your Heart. I think it's just, it's an okay vocal track. That's, like, in my opinion, I think it's okay. I don't think it's, like, it's too standout as anything special, but I also don't think it's horrible. So I'd say those three tracks from the game are, like, probably, like, the only decent ones. I've heard some of the classic Sonic level music, and it's just, it's rough, man. It's just that really just janky Genesis synths that they've been using since, like, Sonic 4, and I'm not exactly sure what program they're using to compose music, but, like, I would literally just prefer for them to just go back to the roll. Like, literally just go get the synthesizers and, like, instruments and equipment they were just using with, like, Sonic CD and, like, you know, Sonic 3 Knuckles and stuff, because, like, whatever's going on with, like, the current retro, like, quote-unquote retro Sonic music from Sega has just been absolutely horrendous. So, yeah, that's about the music, but the gameplay, it's equally just, it's just so mediocre it hurts. I think that's the thing about Sonic Forces, it's like, I didn't even know if the game really even is, like, because it's not glitchy, it's not like the Sonic 06, so, like, I didn't think you can even get the value out of it that you could get out of Sonic 06, where it's like the game is so bad that it's good, and instead it's just the game is just so mediocre and dry that it's just mediocre and dry. Like, it's not like you really have fun with, like, breaking the game, because there's not really much to break, except I guess do, like, boost skips or something, but yeah, no, Sonic Forces, that's not really, not my speed, that's for sure, definitely not my speed. I wouldn't be, like, against them remaking the game, like, a couple years from now, you know, someone just sits down, because, like, I think there was, like, some really good concept art for the game. Like, they had some really cool ideas, as tends to be the case with, I think, a lot of Sonic games, but then they just never executed. I missed the jump. I always want to get the top level route, because, I don't think I've ever been up there before. It's kind of similar. I think this is what, that one Sonic fan game, Sonic Before the sequel, I think it took inspiration actually from this act, because in one of the city levels, it has, like, a two, signpost ending that's, like, split between a top and a bottom route. I think it was actually based on, Spring Yards. But yeah, back to Forces. Yeah, a lot of really cool concepts that were just, you know, I don't know. I really don't know. But anyways, yeah, let's see what else is going on here in the chat. Hang on a second. I kind of need to focus. It's like, I don't want to die here at these blocks. Alright. Someone said, Sonic 1 aged like milk. Mario World's far better. Super Mario World's far better. Yeah, I think in some ways Sonic 1 has aged like, oh my god, just lost my shield. I think in some ways it's aged like milk. I think in other ways it's held up relatively well. I mean, like, again, I think that Green Hill Zone and, like, Spring Yard and Starlight were really good showcases of how, like, Sonic 1 could be, like, this phenomenal physics park. And I think that honestly was something that resonated a lot with people when it first came out. I know it resonated with me when I was a kid, you know, when I was, like, 3, for, you know, first playing it. Well, actually, it was 3, you know, playing it through the Mega Collection, for the GameCube. And I like the, I don't know, it's something about it's appealing to just watching things roll around on slopes, and like, it's kind of like the same feeling you get when watching people like skateboard at a skate park go, you know, up and down slopes. It's just kind of mesmerizing. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously there's like, you know, Marble Zone and Labyrinth Zone and Scrap Brain, and then the infamous Scrap Brain Zone Act 3, which is Labyrinth Zone Act 4. Which, yeah, I don't know. I think it really has aged like milk in some ways, so I can partly agree with that, yeah. Super Mario World, on the other hand, I don't know if it's aged really much better, because, like, the controls are kind of slippery, and, like, coming back to it for, like, New Super Mario Bros., I don't really know if I like Super Mario World that much. It feels a little bit too buttery. Once you adjust to it, the controls feel tight enough. So I don't want to say the controls are outright terrible or anything, because they aren't. It's just that I don't think they're as tight as New Super Mario Bros., where I think like you just had a little bit better handling in the air. Lost time. Gotta use the same strategy, stand one side of the bridge, let Eggman pick up the cheese blocks. I think they look like cheese blocks. I don't know if anyone else thinks that, but yeah, I don't know. Super Mario World, I think it has its shortcomings as well. Some of the level in Super Mario World honestly felt a little bit lazy. I know the special levels were just like made you want to pull your hair out. There were definitely just levels the developers had put together as just like for fun, and they're just like, let's just throw them in as like bonus levels at the end of the game. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't really fault them for it. They're supposed to be bonus levels, so, you know, you can technically beat the game without having to go through, like, the rest, you know, it's like, it's not required to have a 100% completed game, I don't think. Don't take my word for that. I don't know, you might have to go find like a speedrun forum and see if like in order to get a 101%, you know, you have to do like the bonus levels. Alright, there we go. So we have finished Act 4. Well, that's not Act 4, that's Act 3. I guess there must be some kind of bug in the game where every Act 3 is now Act 4. Either that or because they had to move the slots in Green Hill and Marble Zone, now every single Act 3 just got retitled to being Act 4, and so now we're just going to be seeing like all the Act 3s be called Act 4s. Okay, that was close. That was really close. But yeah, I don't know. Super Mario World is Super Mario World, and Sonic 1 is Sonic 1. It's kind of hard to really say that one was necessarily better than the other. Like, I think I would have maybe slightly preferred some elements of World over Sonic 1 when I was a kid. Like, I did like the fact that Super Mario World had a world map. I know that's not really that crucial to gameplay, but I don't know, it kind of felt like you were really exploring, like, you know, a place. Sonic 1 just didn't have that on the Mega Drive. It had it on the 8-bit versions, but, I mean, you know, like, how many people had Sonic 1 for the Master System? Definitely not as many that's had it for the Genesis. I mean, there were people out there who had it, don't get me wrong, because the Master System was very popular in places like Europe and South America, but, I can't really remember a lot of people in North America have the Master System. It rarely ever got talked about. The Genesis was all the rage, so, you know, yeah, apologies, it was like people doing business outdoors, I don't know what's going on out there, but, yeah, so, just gonna, okay, that actually, can I get the secret right here? Because I know that if you jump over here, there's a little platform that you can hit after that switch reset, which is why I went over for it, and, there's like a secret passage at the top of the level that we can't, what the fuck? What just happened? What just happened? Chad, did you see that? What just happened? I literally landed on the platform. I didn't even have that much speed, and it just was like, no, fuck you. Like, what? Okay, that's not very nice. So why would it just? I don't know. Something just like moonwalked off of it. Like, I don't know. I was pressing the like left on the D-pad, and it was just like, nope, you're not gonna be going on a ride today. Like, you're going back to the watery depths of this level. I'm like, okay. Well, let's get a few air balls. I mean, I guess we're just gonna have to, because there's no way we're gonna be able to get it now. Yeah, you know, we'll just go down through the valve, whatever. Go to the passageway. But yeah, let's see what's going on in the chat. Sonic Mania is a bit stale. I think it's given too much praise. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, well, still in like what regards? Because I mean, I played Sonic Mania like, I'm trying to think how many times over. I gotta do a quick calculation. I think it was like, I can't remember. I'm about to finish the zone and I can think about it. But I replayed Sonic Mania numerous times. Like, I got a little bit addicted to the game for a short period of time. Stale? I mean, I have heard the complaint that, like, you know, because it reuses zones, that, like, it feels not new enough. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel like for the pre-existing zones that are there, like, it had enough familiarity with, you know, like, some of the level sections it used from the older games, but then it remixed them, you know, to, like, bring something new. So I don't think I ever felt like Sonic Mania felt, like, stale or old. And that's even after playing the game again countless times. But yeah, I don't know if I would necessarily say that's stale. I think it's given an appropriate amount of praise. I mean, considering the fact that Sonic has literally not seen anything good since Generations, I mean, yeah, it kind of makes sense why people would be praising Sonic Mania. You know, it finally gives them a Sonic game that, technically, I guess, you know, maybe we could have gone on the Saturn had things gone differently. But, you know, it takes, like, the best from Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic CD, and bundles it into one, you know, and I can't really say that, like, and plus it has, like, a ton of really rich references to other Sonic media from the time that just never saw the light of day. Like, you've got references to, like, you know, Sega Sonic Popcorn Shop, or, you got, like, some Knuckles Chaotic stuff in there. I mean, those technically saw the light of day, but there were other more obscure references that aren't, like, coming to the top of my head, but, I don't know, I feel like it was like a true celebration of Sonic, you know? Actually, I would say even a little bit more so than Generations in some ways. But not to diss Generations. Generations did a lot of work in itself, and it had a lot of brand new content. It's not like it just ripped stages straight from older games. So I think, I don't know, in my head, I kind of consider Mania to be kind of like a Sonic Generations 2, which I think that's what they were trying to make Sonic Forces into. It was like, you know, the 3 Sonic Generations 2, by bringing about classic Sonic and stuff, but they really fumbled the bag. And, I just don't think they need to bring back like classic Sonic, you know, like they could have just had modern Sonic like facing older enemies or whatever. Maybe they get sent from like throughout its history or from like classic Sonic's quote unquote realm. I put that in quotes because like I'm not even sure what's going on with the lore of the Sonic franchise anymore. Like apparently, I don't know. Classic Sonic exists in a different universe or something stupid, and I'm just like, dude, why are you guys doing this to Sonic? Like, just leave him alone. Like, Sonic is still Sonic, he's just grown up slightly, like, and it also just, I don't know, like a part of me is like, well, maybe you just wouldn't want to do it to just make more classic games in the future, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, just add in, like, an unknown amount of years in between that you could just keep making classic Sonic games in, you know? Do it like, you know, how Mega Man did it, where it's like, Mega Man X happens so many years after the classic games, and it's just kind of vague, so that way they can just make, you know, keep making classic games if they want, and they can still also produce Mega Man X games. Granted, neither of the series are, well, haven't really seen any action. I mean, well, Classic Man has seen Mega Man 11, I should take that back. But as for Mega Man X, there's, like, not really much going on, aside from, like, mobile game, you know, that's been floating around, but been more news about that. But yeah, I don't know. I'd say Sonic Mania is probably one of the stronger Sonic titles, for sure. I think, you know, I mean, maybe in a way, maybe it is a little bit overrated, but I think it gets, you know, it gets fair enough praise. Hey, wait, that keeps you all the way up. I didn't know that spring took you all the way up out of the water. I thought you had to do a slow climb up. Oh, well, we need to hit a switch to unlock that gate, so actually, we're gonna have to go back and find it. I think it's, where is it? Well, it's not over here. That's where we started the stage, the other side of the wall. Is it on this platform? I don't know, I thought there was, or maybe it's right here. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Okay, let's go back over. There's that ring box there. Can we get that? And, oh, hey, yo, there's a switch. Okay. We can get that now. If I can get back up there. Let's see here. Get a couple of rings. Drop down, if I can, and hit the switch. And let's get out of here. Okay. Are you kidding? This is, okay, like, this right here is just fucking bad level design. Like, I'm sorry, but having just random shit come out of the walls that your player is just not alerted to is just, that's terrible. Like, whenever you approach that side of the like, compartment, or I guess the chamber there, that chain spike should always be sticking out to at least give the player a visual heads up that there's something there. Because that's so dumb. That is so dumb. And now we're stuck back underwater, an extremely just tiring segment as we're just dealing with this. Yep, this is the bad part of Sonic 1, the real bad part. And you also got these. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Ah, okay, jump, no, jump, avoid that. Yeah, okay. Well, now we gotta wait for an air bubble. But, let's see, what else is someone gonna say? Blue said, Sonic Forces had good ideas, but didn't execute them right. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I think it's the same thing with Lost World. Like, I think Lost World, actually, even though people crap on the game a lot, I think it has some really cool ideas. Like, a parkour Sonic? Like, hell yeah. Like, I think it fits his style so well. But they just... I don't know, man. They just fumbled the bag, and then it just felt like a Mario Galaxy clone, and I was kind of like disappointing. I'm like, why didn't you guys just, I don't know, like give me some Sonic Adventure level design with some parkour mechanics? Hell, even SA2 level design, which would have blended so perfectly to parkour, with all those grind rails and snowshoes and stuff. Could have been, I don't know, man. I think a Sonic game with parkour mechanics, like an adventure style, could be really cool. That's Act 2 done, so now we just have Act 3 to contend with, which hey, wait, actually, is it labeled correctly now? It's not reading Act 4. I just will have to wait until the end of the zone to see if that keeps that card. And jump and get... What just happened? Okay. Apparently, Sonic doesn't want to jump on the waterfall. Okay. I don't know what just happened. I pressed A, and then he just, like, didn't want to... It did it again! Wait, is it? Oh, maybe you can't input a direction while jumping off. You know, that might be why. Maybe that's like messing up the momentum or something. That's weird. Or maybe it's a bug. I don't know. Okay, let's go down and drop down into here. There's actually a shortcut to this level. I can't remember if it's 2/3 of the way through or not, but I remember it's actually I think it's closer to the start than closer to the middle. So, I'm gonna try to take it because just this zone is otherwise way too long. I really wish I could have gotten that shortcut on Labyrinth Zone Act 1, but it is what it is. But yeah, no, back to like Lost World and stuff. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, I mean, man, dude, just great ideas, bad execution. I think it's kind of just been like a running joke within the Sonic franchise for such a long time, or I should say, not a joke necessarily, but a running theme. It's just like great ideas, but just really bad execution. You know, you like. If you look at Sonic and the Secret Rings, Sonic the Black Knight, I mean, ideas that honestly could have been sick, you know? Like, imagine if instead of having two separate storybook games or whatever, because it was supposed to be the counterpart to Sonic 06, you know, on the Wii, the two Sonic Wii storybook games were, it would have been cool to see as one game where it's like, I don't know, called like Sonic and like Knight of the Rings or something, and like Sonic's going through these like, fantasy levels, you know, just kind of because Sonic 06 is very fantasy based with like Soliana and stuff, and you know, kept free range movement so you could explore the nice environments. Because like the thing that killed me the most about playing Secret Rings and Black Knight is that they just have beautiful environments, but you can't fucking explore them because you're on rails. Okay, why can I not get up here? I'm just like stuck. Okay, you know what? We're gonna have to go for another air bubble. Come on, hurry up. There you go. But no, yeah, no, just like really just lovely landscapes, you know, just the atmospheres of them were also really good. Like, I think some of the strongest points of the storybook Wii games was like world building, atmosphere, and like level design. Obviously, story was kind of no, not level design, but like world structure though. Like the actual like art direction was great. But then the gameplay was just so narrow, like extremely on rails, and you're just sitting there wagging your remote back and forth, like with Black Knight, like breaking your wrist, just to do what basically a basic button press could do. Because it's not like where like if you swing your like the Wiimote in certain directions, like you get different sword strikes or you get like different like, you know, special technique skills. Instead, it's you're literally just shaking the Wiimote and like nunchuck like an idiot, and then, you know, you're just like. That's it. That's the extent of the game. And then you're contested obviously with bad controls, which no one wants to do. But yeah, I can't remember how far I'd gotten in Black Knight before I was just like, this game's just dog shit. I know I had gotten technically like the first ending, but it wasn't like the real ending because there was like a second half of the game you have to play through, which I thought that was kind of honestly dumb. Like, haha, yeah, sure, I know that Donkey Kong, you know, Country did it back in the day. It was like, you know, fake ending because like you didn't really beat King K. Rool. they get the real credits. And I thought that was kind of funny gag, but like Sonic Black Knight, just like, it was tiring, just absolutely exhausting. And like, I think there was just a lot of potential, a lot of just huge missed potential with those games. But yeah, you know, Lost World, storybook games, Mario and Sonic 2014, even though it's not really necessarily strictly a Sonic game, I thought was also just really bad. Yeah, Sonic Boom. You know, Sonic Boom was slated to be actually really cool. It was supposed to, I think, have like kind of like a Crash Bandicoot or Jak and Daxter like inspiration. So I think it was made by the same people that had worked on like a couple PS1 titles. Big Rub Button. I could be wrong about that, but like I think some of the developers, of course, come on. Okay, I hate this boss so much. But I think some of the developers from some of the earlier like PS1 games were like on Big Red Button's team. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Like when I look at like Sonic Boom, I think of titles like Sly Cooper, Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank. So take it as you will. But I think the game just there was so much, again, just missed potential, just horrible execution. I honestly didn't even really mind like the characters either. Like I would have been fine if they had just taken Sonic in the cast, you know, like give them a little of that PS1 era style, you know, which would have been cool. PS1/PS2, but like not doing stupid stuff. Like they turned like Sonic's arms blue and then Knuckles looked like he was jacked up on steroids, and then like Amy looked like she was like a 20-year-old woman with like a weird like waistcoat thing. It just read so bizarrely. I'm just like, what? Like, who is this for? And I think a lot of the people asking the same question was like, who's the target audience? Because like, aside from the TV show, actually, I think if the TV show didn't exist, I think Sonic Boom would have been flat out a commercial failure, like all around. I think it just would have been a marketing disaster. TV series are pretty funny though, so I think that's kind of what partially saved it. Though I guess it kind of depends on who you ask. You know what? I could have hit the stairs up there, but you know, we're going on a little bit of a fun roller coaster ride. Who cares? Oh, plus we got brought back up anyway, so it's fine. But there's those fans, you know, in Starlight that I was talking about. See, like how you can run against them. Either I wish you could run against them for a while, you know, and then eventually Sonic will be running so fast that he blows past the fan, or you hold the opposite direction of the fan and you just, you know, you get all that speed that you built up, and you go flying the other way, kind of like a slingshot. It'd be cool. But yeah, this is definitely one of the faster levels of the game, and the more like right there, like that's just classic Sonic fun, man. You just speeding along, hit an item box, you know, then keep rolling, just great stuff. But yeah, Sonic's had a rough track record, man. He always has. Not to say like the you know, Sonic was never good type of shit that you hear from like IGN or whatever. I think they walked back that comment, but yeah, no, it's one of the things where Sonic once was good, but he's just since then had just a really rough time, you know. It's just like it kind of is what it is. It comes and goes. I think that's the best way to describe it, is that it really comes and goes. It's like every few years you might actually really get a Sonic banger. You know, you might get a Mania or a Generations or a Sonic 3 or a Sonic Adventure 2. Or even a Sonic Unleashed, you know, minus the Werehog. I know that game wasn't really well received, and kind of fair enough, again, because of the Werehog stages. I just think it just, I don't know. I don't know why they felt the need to include, like, a discount God of War. Can we actually do this? We did! We did! In my head, I was just like, you know what, I'm just trying to skip this, and look at that. Broke the level. But, yeah, you know, and then it's just like, but there's just so much trash in between the greatness that it wears down on people, you know? And Sonic fans are, like, super divided on everything, because now there's, like, 15 different sub-fan bases in the Sonic fan base, because SEGA can't make up their minds what Sonic is supposed to be, like, or what he needs to be, and it's just like, oh, that's what I hope they fix with this next phase of Sonic, you know, whatever's, you know, gonna be planned going towards these next few years, you know, especially with the next big title they're releasing. Supposed to be like open world and stuff. Like, I don't know. I really wish, I just really hope that they just reset Sonic's brand. And they draft up, like, this is what I want to see happen in the corporate office, right? I want to see them sit down, developers, executives, everyone in the same room, sit down and figure out, like, what are the design guidelines, like, what are the brand guidelines supposed to be for Sonic the Hedgehog, you know? and stick to them, man. Like, stick to its 10-year plan. Like, plan out like make a 10-year plan and stick to it. Even if you need to modify it a little bit to like work with like, you know, market feedback and stuff, I get it. But like, dude, there needs to just be some basic fucking organization with the Sonic franchise. You know, like the management of the franchise has just been a horrible mishandling. And I don't understand why it's always been so bad. Gotta wait here for these. You know, hit me. Oh, there's like a spike thing that's good. Oh, yeah, there it is. You can like technically stand on it and like get extra rings that are in like triangle shape, but I'm not gonna bother with that. But yeah, you know, there's just there needs to be some serious discussions had at SEGA, like first and foremost, because Sega Sammy, I think that's what's really been responsible for the fuck ups of Sonic, is that they keep just, you know, Sonic Team has been a revolving door since like 2005, 6? Since 2006, I guess I should say. That's the last time that Yuji Naka was there. And it's always just been different people in the development teams, and they're around for like 2-3 games and they leave because the company's dog shit, no one wants to work on Sonic anymore. And so then you get to the next game and you have more new people, and then they don't really quite understand Sonic, so then they have to learn Sonic, and it's just, I don't know. And I don't know what Izuka's doing either, so, like, I don't know if he's actually properly getting people to speed when he's, like, you know, getting new people on board. I have no idea. But we're just gonna have to see, I guess, what happens with things. Someone else has said, Labyrinth Zone is hands down the worst zone in the game. Yeah, no, it is. It really is. I'm so glad we're passing instead of doing this. It's a pretty easy boss fight. Just jump around on seesaws, honestly. Really need to pay attention to it. And there you go, last hit. We're done. Yeah, no, Labyrinth, it's definitely, I would say it's definitely contender, yeah, for the worst zone of the game. It's just kind of reason why people dreaded when it came back for an Act 4. It came back for an Act 4 in Scrap Brain. That was just unholy. They should have not done that. That was messed up, honestly. Like, because you think, like, you get to Scrap Brain, you're like, okay, cool, you know, new zone, whatever, and then it's just at the end of, like, Scrap Brain Act 2, you're like, oh, okay, I got dropped somewhere, and then you're just straight back to the Labyrinth Zone. It's like, oh my god. Like, really, if they wanted to do, like, an Labyrinth Act 4, it should have just come before Scrap Brain, and, like, I don't know, maybe it's, like, you show up inside of Eggman's base, like, instead of, like, Scrap Brain Act 1 being where it's positioned in the game, instead this is, like, Act 2, and so you start inside of Eggman's base, and then you briefly go outside, and you come back, like, inside to his base for, like, the last final zone. Man, yeah, I don't know. Labyrinth Zone, just absolutely not. That level can go and erase itself. But, yeah, let's see, like, what else have been people saying? Team Sonic Racing is dead. Yeah. yeah, there's not much else to say about that. Yeah, it is very much dead. That game was dead on arrival. Absolutely dead on arrival. Like, oh, are you kidding? We missed it? This is, because I know there was, like, you have to stand slightly over to be, like, on the proper end of, like, the level so you don't fall the way down, and, well, that happened. Well, I guess it at least means we get more rings right here. There's, like, a little, like, there's like a Valley of Springs down here. Come back out, grab some more. But yeah, someone else said, let's see, what else has been said in the chat? Reprise. Sonic 2 has such a mysterious development. Yeah, I mean, I would say it's probably one of the more intriguing ones out of all the original, like, classic games. Like, Sonic 1's, like, development, I can't really think of anything exciting about it, aside from the fact that I think, like, there was supposed to be, I think, one extra zone, or one of the zones got their theme changed entirely. I think it was Spring Yard. It was originally called, like, Starlight Zone or something. It's just kind of funny, because when it was the Starlight Zone. Or, no, it wasn't called Starlight. It was called, I think, like, Sparkly Sky or something. I can't remember. But I'm pretty sure it probably got changed to not being a night level, because then Starlight Zone got introduced. Actually, in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if actually that was originally what Starlight started out as, and then it eventually changed. But, as for Sonic 2, though, yeah, no, Sonic 2 has a lot more going on in terms of the mysteries of, like, alpha and beta builds and stuff, because you got all that rich content, you know, cut content like Sonic CD, but then also Sonic, what do you call it? Sonic 2, you know, released over here in the US, which is usually called Sonic 2 USA, but it was Sonic CD. But, yeah, I can't really say that's wrong. It definitely does have a very mysterious development. Sonic 3 Knuckles, I don't think has as much stuff to my knowledge in terms of scrap content. I think like the era of Sonic, you know, in the classic period that had the most scrap content was Sonic 2, Sonic 2's development. So you had all those time traveling sketches and stuff like we're talking about earlier, and you had the shared development cycle and like, you know, a lot of really exciting stuff. I think it would have been really cool to get a Sonic game that had like the Sonic 2 spin dash with the super peel out. I mean, that's kind of what the 2011 Sonic CD remake did. So, see, this is where the spin dash comes in handy. Okay, we need to get out of here before we get hit by those bombs. Yeah, now this is where like I think the spin dash fits really well in Sonic 1 because again, it just makes bad parts of the game better, in my opinion. Like if you again are using it cleverly, like. That's why I think this spin dash is justified to be in Sonic 1, kind of like in the I think in the 2013 re-release. Is that it takes skill to utilize, but it can, like, if you know when to use it right, it can definitely make the game a lot smoother. But someone has to say, T-Force, are you going to play Sonic? Okay, hang on a second. Oh no, not these drums. But am I gonna play Sonic 3 Knuckles again? Or not again, no, I'm ready to play it. Well, I've played it many times in my life, yeah. Am I gonna play for the channel? Yeah, I don't know, we'll see. I mean, if there's time in the future and, you know, not too busy, then yeah, I might give Sonic 3 Knuckles a run through again. I'm sure it's one of my favorite classic games, so thank God we made it through there. Gotta roll, obviously, to avoid that lightning, I don't know what they're called, but they're just like those, yeah, those volt hubs. But, they're like those little, actually, like those electric magnetic ball things that are used in like those, there's a specific name for them, I can't remember what they're called. They make like the hair on your hands stand up. Hair on your head. Did I say hair on your hand? Hair on your head stand up, yeah. Get out of scrap brain. Please, spin dash, please work. I think it's gonna, yep, there you go, spin dash once again coming in clutch. Okay, this I will come in clutch here because I know there's a lot. Okay, no, never mind. Okay, maybe I miscalculated where that happens. I know there's like part of the level near the end where there's all these swinging chain spikes and it's just like hell to get through. Absolute hell to get through. I think we're coming up on it actually. Is it? It's right here. It is literally right here. I think this is it. Yeah. Oh, invincibility saved me, but yeah, Sonic 3 Knuckles definitely would love to revisit that game. If there's any classic game that's in like my #1 slot, it's Sonic 3 Knuckles. And I think right there beside it is Sonic Mania. And I know technically Sonic 3 and Sonic Knuckles are separate games, but like, yeah, I don't consider them separate games because there was talk about Sonic 3 Plus like a couple years back, or like this idea that Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic 3 were supposed to be released on one cart, but they got split into two because of like development deadlines, I think, and but I don't know if Sonic 3 Plus ever manifested. I don't know if it ever actually got released in stores and retail. This has to be the worst incarnation of Labyrinth. Like, I hate Act 4 so much. I know it's technically not called Act 4, but you might as well call it Act 4. But I think we'll be on our way out of here. I don't think we really have to worry too much. Gotta dodge this. Maybe the spin dash can come in clutch when we gotta, like, right here. See if we can do it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that just skipped like some of the worst parts of it. Well, actually, I don't want to necessarily say that. I don't want to jinx myself. So I think the worst is yet to come because there's like you have to get through these chain spike or this wall of chain spikes. Come on. Yeah, okay, there we go. And then hit the red spring right at the final zone. All right, well, we made it to the end of the game. This is it. This is the final showdown against Eggman, with his face in the background. Except not really. I mean, I don't know. It kind of looks like his face. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that, but like there's two monitors in the background, like the little dot in the middle. It definitely, I'm pretty sure it's meant to be a face. This is pretty easy. This is actually a lot easier because I have the spin dash on me, so I don't actually need to like time my runs anymore to like avoid the electrical, I don't know, charges. Here, wait. A lot of waiting around. It's kind of why I didn't like this final boss. I wish it was just more lively action. Just a lot of waiting. At least we have a couple hits ready, so this shouldn't take too much longer. Can I? Oh, that was close. I was like wondering if I could just wait up there and then hit him on his way down. That was no. I did not plan that right. Get him again. I do like what Sonic Mania did with this boss when they brought it back in Metallic Madness. I think that's a much better version of this boss fight. This is actually another thing. Circle back to Sonic Mania. In terms of being stale, I think while it did use familiar like scenarios and obstacles and stuff, I think it did just enough to make it fresh. And so that's why I think I'm okay with Sonic Mania. Is because like I didn't feel like it was just a dry cut and paste of what was there. I think Stealth and Christian Whitehead and like and even T-Lopes, with the music and stuff. I think they all really did a good job at reimagining the classics in a way. Studio Lopola Zone and Press Garden Zone, and Titanic Monarch and stuff. I mean, they naturally just blend in with the other zones. So I mean, kudos to them. Absolutely kudos to them. Probably some of the best of zones I've played in Sonic in general. I'd say they had a really, really firm grasp, and by them I mean the actual level designers and programmers. They think they had a pretty good grasp on level design, and that's the last hit. That's it. Eggman, you have been vanquished. Yeah, so. Actually, I shouldn't say programmers. Technically, just be level designers, because programmers don't necessarily do level design. So, some programmers literally only exist just to do code reviews. So, I shouldn't even say that. There we go. We got all the Chaos Emeralds. Eggman has been left with no money at all. We we haven't drained his bank accounts. We just got to the treasure first. But that's it. That's Sonic the Hedgehog Plus. I'd say it's a pretty enjoyable experience. I mean, obviously, notwithstanding some of the jank of like, was that supposed to happen? Okay. Well, I guess the ending theme is I guess we're gonna be listening to the Invincibility theme instead for the entire ending. That's kind of neat. I think it happened because there was that rolling wrecking ball in Green Hill Zone Act 1, which is normally not in the game. And so I think the ending was just like, what is this object? Like, this isn't supposed to be here. Because, it's an automated, It's automated gameplay. But that's kind of funny. So the Sonic Advance 2 is an underrated gem. Limbo is, Sonic Advance 2. Maybe? I don't know. Sonic Advance 2 it's not a bad game. I think it's actually pretty fun in the same way maybe you could say Sonic Unleashed Day stages were. And it definitely was like the groundwork for, Sonic Rush. Most certainly. That's without a doubt. It was like basically the precursor to Sonic Rush. And, it also laid out some of the faster elements of like Sonic Advance 3, but I don't know if I could say it's underrated. I think the game felt pretty empty in a lot of parts. Like, I don't know really how to describe it. Like, Sonic Advance 1 and Sonic Advance 3 feel full, but Sonic Advance 2 just feels kind of empty-ish. And then you only unlock one character at the end, which is obviously Amy Rose. She's the only unlockable character. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of levels just felt kind of blank. They felt kind of unfinished in some ways, so I don't know. I feel a bit mixed about Sonic Advance 2, though I absolutely love the Music Plant and like, Techno Bass Zone, because it's my favorite zones, even though the level design of them is like questionable, especially Techno Bass. Not so much Music Plant, but well, that's gonna be it for this live stream. So thank you so much for everyone for joining me here playing some Sonic the Hedgehog Plus, and Sonic now is in front of his logo. That's interesting. But anyways, alright, I'm gonna see you guys, and that'll be all for tonight.